As said by Rahel Carson, the more clearly we can focus our attention to the wonders and realities of the universe about us, the less stage we should have for distraction. Welcome to the Naval Astro-science. My name is Benjamin Listowell, and I'll be taking you through the models of the solar system. In this modern era, we are believed the fact that the sun is at the center of the solar system, or in other words, we are believed that we are believing the sun-centered system. But would you believe it if I should tell you that things remain like this before the ancient times till now? Certainly not. So many centuries ago, great scientists and philosophers put forward some theories, and these theories in one way or the other has brought impact to the modern science world. Amongst these theories are two theories we'll be looking at today: the geocentric theory or model and the heliocentric theory or model respectively. The geocentric theory or model. The geocentric theory or model is a description of a universe whereby the Earth is placed at the center of everything and the universe orbits a static Earth. Although rejected by modern science, it seemed very evident and obvious to the early philosophers and astronomers that the Earth was indeed static and the universe revolved around it. Nothing seemed to make a move, so this was the evidence based on it to back them. And this model being mentioned here was proposed by a mathematician, an astronomer, a geographer, and an astrologist who went by the name Claudius Ptolemy, who was born in Egypt about the year 100 AD and died about the year 170 AD. He lived in the city of Alexandria and the Roman province of Egypt under the rule of the Roman Empire. Around 140 AD, Ptolemy discussed his refined geocentric model, and according to the Ptolemaic universe, the planets revolve on a smaller circle called the epicycles, and the centers of the epicycles revolve around a larger circle around the Earth. The epicycles of Venus and Mercury lie on a straight line joining the Earth to the Sun, and the stars are fixed about an outermost sphere. This was generally accepted, and the Ptolemaic system dominated the Western world for about 1,500 years. The fact that the stars and the planets and everything could be seen moving along circular paths about the Earth day in and day out served as proof, and appeared to them to bring out the idea that the Earth was stark still. Besides, the fact that objects used to fall towards the Earth served as proper evidence to conclude. The geocentric theory first met its challenge in 1543 when Copernicus published his parchment on the revolutions of heavenly sphere, which nailed to the point that the sun was rather at the center of the solar system rather than the Earth. Certainly, there would have been some problems associated with the geocentric model. The first one was the retrograde motion of some planets like Mars, and the second problem or challenge occurred whilst observing the phases of Venus. If Venus were to orbit the Earth then it would be impossible for it to be in its complete full phase. So this was about the geocentric model. As I said earlier, was proposed by Claudius Ptolemy, and around 140 AD he proposed his first thing, and it talked mostly about the Earth-centered system. Now, with this understanding, let's go to the heliocentric model. The heliocentric theory. This is a description of a universe whereby the planets and the Earth is revolving around the sun, and the sun is at the center of the solar system. Per history, this theory opposed the geocentric theory or model, which nailed to the point or which stated that the Earth was rather at the center. This model was proposed or was expanded or was discussed by the Polish astronomer and mathematician Nicolaus Copernicus, who was born in 1473 and died in 1543. Nicolaus Copernicus formulated this model, and this model was discussed in his publication on the revolution of heavenly spheres. And Galileo's observation led to another evidence which nailed to the point or which backed the heliocentric theory, and also he gained another evidence as he observed the full moons of Jupiter. The idea of heliocentrism was proposed as early as the 3rd century BC by Aristarchus of Samos, but Aristarchus' heliocentrism attracted less attention, probably due to the laws of the scientific works in the Hellenistic periods. Copernicus probably adapted this theory between 1508 and 1514. The heliocentric theory was rejected by the early philosophers for some reasons. That if the Earth were to be rotating along its axis around the Sun, then the Earth should be in motion. But the motion being mentioned here didn't give rise to any observable consequence. Hence, to the early or ancient philosophers and astronomers, the Earth was static. Copernicus in 1543 detailed all about the heliocentric theory in his On the Revolution of Heavenly Spheres, which was first printed after his death in 1543, and over a century later it was accepted widely. Now, we've all seen how far the scientific world has come. So many centuries ago until now, people are still bringing out theories which would better the scientific world. You might as well want to bring your own ideas, but make sure you have the right proof and make sure it's something we can all ponder about to get a specific meaning or one aim in life. Thank you for watching and listening. My name once again is Predan Listuo. Don't forget to hit the notification and subscribe button for the next episode of the new Astro-science. Stay safe. Have a great day.